last Friday, it appeared on the bank's website that you were going to start offering home loans with a minimum down payment of 20%, loan to value of 80%. Later in the evening, the bank issued a statement saying that they will still offer the 90% loan to value ratio. What exactly happened? I mean, this statement came out several hours later. Even the Prime Minister had commented on this. Was it an intentional switch, but then the decision was taken back due to the backlash, or was it just a decision that took too long to make?
This wasn't a decision taken as a result of a backlash, as you say. It was a genuine error which we needed to correct, which we did as quickly as we could on that day, to correctly reflect that we're offering 90% loan to value with a 10% deposit for primary residences and first-time buyers.
But now there has also been the addition of subject to certain criteria, to lending criteria. Will there be instances where the bank will offer the 80% loan to value ratio to first-time buyers?
Yes, it will depend very much on the credit risk profile of the applicant, and we've always offered less than, or let's say an increased deposit required for mortgages depending on the credit risk analysis on the given client. So it's very much case-by-case approach that we take.
All right, but will the approach be shifting so that more of the loans will be offered at that 80% rate, or?
No, we continue to apply the risk and lending policies that we've had in place before to analyse how much LTV, loan to value, that we're seeking from a customer.
All right, there has been no change in the policy in terms of lending requirements. Okay, I would also like to ask about HSBC's permanence in Malta. Beyond Malta's shores, we have seen HSBC pull out from non-Asian markets in particular, for example, France and Canada. What can you say about HSBC's permanence in Malta?
What I can say is we see opportunity for safe growth in Malta, as I've said earlier, and we're seeing that corner turned now in our results for last year. So we're here to invest in growth in the local market. And I think perhaps the best example of this is the fact that we're renovating our Ormi campus, which is our head office buildings in Ormi. And as I said earlier in the presentation, this represents the largest property project of its kind in Europe for HSBC at the moment.
And are there any planned branch closures for Malta, or?
None for the moment. That's certainly something we keep on constant watch, but I think 12 branches, which is our current estate, is the right level for now.
Okay, great. And earlier someone remarked on the energy subsidies and how it could impact the bank. My question would be, how will a removal of these subsidies impact the bank's operations, but also its lending portfolio?
Yeah, I don't think it'll impact our operations as such, but I think it may change the risk landscape, because obviously the subsidies have helped support the cost of energy for all of us with our cars and various other energy usages, which has been a huge support to the local community. We then need to analyse, and we have analysed, what impact there may be from removing or reducing the subsidies.
Would you be able to elaborate on the impact specifically?
I think again that would be very case by case, by customer and by sector. But we obviously once that is removed, the cost of fuel will go up for all of us. So it will mean that the household bills increase possibly.
Yes, and just my last question, maybe if you could give a brief overview of the outlook for Malta, the economic outlook for Malta for 2023, what you're foreseeing as a bank.
Well, the theme today was that it's uncertain, largely because of the geopolitical threat that we have with the Russia-Ukraine war and inflation and recession threats that we're seeing more broadly in Europe, not seeing recession in Malta per se. So broadly, I would say it's a positive outlook, but we've seen a number of shocks in the last year and, in fact, the last 3 years of COVID, which we have to prepare for as best we can. But it's very difficult when you're not sure where they're coming from.